Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Thanks for taking a few minutes to check this place out. I appreciate you taking the time. Let's get started. Okay folks, so some of you know I like to pull things out of the trash and turn it into something good. So my son Jacob brought home this round piece of glass. I put the tape on there so that I wouldn't smash it running around in the shop. So I'm going to take this round piece of glass and I'm going to try to make something with these two pieces of what I believe are oak. They're crating material from a recent install I did at work. So let's see if I can do some magic and turn that into something. Stay tuned. Let's see how big it isn't. 19 1/4. Yep, 24, just as I figured. Yep, she's enough. Eye protection is important. That joiner was spinning about 600 RPM more, maybe 1,000. That would be nice. Okay, my old machine, I heard a strange noise. This pulley came loose right here. So we gonna tighten up a set screw. Again, when you hear strange noises and hear things going on with your equipment, don't just keep using it. You're only asking to get hurt. Notice the fingers. No, I'm kidding. That's a table saw injury. That's what happens when you build your wife a birdhouse on Mother's Day. We got to go to the emergency room for that one.
Even after you thought you could put them back on.
I figured I could fix them. I can fix anything. On with the Borafill.
Let's see.
Hey, it is spinning faster now. I would normally use a push stick on this, but my fingers are up high enough out of the way. That's why the push sticks are right here. Look how pretty that is. For being garbage, look how pretty. Whew. We're still at it. See the tear out? That means I'm pushing this through the wrong way. So what I got to do is turn it around. Bring it around town. And trying to maintain pressure on the outfeed side. No more tear out. Still at it. out quite a bit. Engage vacuum attachment. Being attacked by the hose. And to bring out the big guns this time. Bring out the big guns. Getting that lip. There. How do you do this one? I'll show you. You put the belly engaged.
What are you doing?
I'm gluing these here boards together to make them sticky together. Trying not to bite my fingers.
Okay.
This is what we're gonna do first. Alright. You know, you get on my good side. Alright. No, I'm kidding. So, I noticed that I am wider here than I is here, so I'm going to use this homemade tape R jig, or taper jig. I made these knobs, these knobs here out of cedar, and I will show you how this booger works. Put your board on here like thusly, and we want it to hang off just a little bit here and here, and we take these homemade clamps and we squeeze it down, both of them. I gotta fine tune this thing a little bit, but we squeeze that down, and as you can see, it ain't coming off of there. Raise up your cutting device and turn on the noisemaker. Slide it through. Shut off noisemaker. Don't put fingers in the blade.
Did that once.
Yep. Then that gives you a nice straight edge that you will then, after I run them all through, flip that edge over and put it here. Now you can see there's no gap. Then I can pick a dimension, whichever on here on this slidey lefty righty numbery thing, and cut these all to a certain width, and I will have two parallel, even thusly the same sides, kind of like this. Okay, so we're done with the tape R jig. He goes over here like a so, next to all these beautiful flags, especially this one here with the green. Alright, so we marked the side that was cut with the tape R jig, little blade, so it's not sticking up so much. Now that side needs to go against that fence, but what we first need to do is figure out which board is the narrowest, and that one is a little over 2.5. That one's way over 2.5. Way, I'm going to guess that 2.5 is probably what we want, so we'll bring this in. They can be random. They don't need to be an exact number for the table, because we're going to make a plate out of them. Not a plate. Plate? No. We're going to make a panel out of them. And that's just over 2.5, so we're going to go 2 3/8. Alright. On with the Borafil. Alright, so Lisa wanted to throw a little creativity into this. This is her idea, not mine, but it's 100% spot on. We're going to put some cedar in here. We're going to break these colors up. Hopefully I got this in the right spot. Looky here what that's going to turn into now. And yes, my piece of glass fits.
Perfect. I like it.
Glue up! Glue up! Ow. Okay. Yellow goop.
What are you doing?
Every artist does that. Every guy who wants to get something done does what I'm doing. This will go here. I like to clean the excess off before I start putting the top clamps on because it's a pain getting a lot of it off underneath. I'm still going to have a little squeeze out, but a little bit of glue squeeze out is better than a lot of bit squeeze out. Didn't sound very good.
No.
You don't want to let your pipe clamp rest on them boards, it'll stain it. So, there's a little tip for you. For all you guys gluing up panels out there. What's Kayla's cousin's name?
Anthony.
There you go, Anthony. There's a tip for you, buddy. Don't let your clamps rest on the wood, it'll stain it. I'm glad you're watching, Anthony. It's good to hear that a young person, I don't know if you're young or not, but it's good to hear that I'm passing something on to somebody. Way to go, man. You'll pinch your fingers while you're doing this. Put clamps on the top and clamps on the bottom for even pressure too. So there you have it. That's all we can do for now on this thing. If you're wondering who Anthony is, he's my daughter-in-law's nephew? Cousin. Cousin. And she showed me some of the stuff you've done, Anthony. It's pretty awesome, buddy. Folks, here's something you can't do with them cheap Harbor Freight clamps after you do a glue up. See how I can take this thing somewhere and get it out of my way. It's hooked in my pants so that you can do something else. And it still holds it flat. Woo! Okay, y'all, here's something you guys might find interesting. I know this looks like just an ordinary marker. Hopefully my spelling isn't wrong. But there's magic in this ink. Take a heat gun. And it makes it look like it has burned the wood. And what a better way to show you that marker than like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, please. Okay, y'all, so it's been a couple hours. I've taken this slab, what did I call this thing? the glue up out of the clamps panel. And if you do this glue scraping business before this glue is 100% cured, it might make your life a little easy off. Trusty assistant with the blue rag. Of course, this is the bottom, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But we want to get it off. I'll take a belt sander to it and get her closer. Yellow bird poop.
Just like that.
If you wait till that stuff gets hard, you'll be knocking your head against the wall trying to get it off. This is a panel. A glued up panel. That's the bottom. This is the top. Awesome sauce. Take big long straight thing and find center. You gotta slam your tools and make lots of noise to be famous on YouTube. Drill. Nice selection of drill bits. Drill bits. Something that I want. Size. What size? This is a nice one. Ja. Das ist gut, ja. Oops and moop. That's never gonna work.
Get out the big guns.
Woo! I did it! Maybe we better go a little further than that. Now, if we can go straight in that board, that would be nice. That would be nice. Here's a nice straight piece of wood. This is how you make a square plate. Boom.
Good catch.
Make a circle. These gigantic screws that they gave you. This is a trim router circle jig. Put base on here. Flip over. Put little bitty screws back in. Homemade, of course. It's the way I roll. Eye roll? I bet there's a lot of eye rolls. Right, Lisa. Okay, so my glass is 19 1/4. I want to be at least 20 inches in diameter. I'm not real fussy about it being precise. Half of 20 is 10. We're going to go to about 10 1/8, so it gives me just a little bit more. I took the drill, drilled the hole from center point to there. My drill bit fits through like a so. The drill bit also fits back in the center here, so you take the drill bit and put it back in. That's your center. back your bit back out. Take your circle or your jig, put it over the drill bit like that. The drill, the cutter is back so that it won't scratch the wood to show you this, but you just simply go like this with it running, making noise, and you get a circle. And you drop it a little bit and you keep going. Now I'm going to cut this all the way off to make a round table. Then I'm going to drop this in a little more accurately to the size of that glass, and I'm going to recess the glass into this tabletop.
Okay.
So here we go. Here we go, as Shelby Stango would say. You gotta put this in the thing on the other side to make it work. There it goes. Here we go. Just gonna drop this in. You gotta take multiple passes. You take too much and it'll shatter like crazy. I'll make one circle and you'll see what I'm doing here. Nice and steady. Bring it around, bring it around. Hopefully when I get to the end of this, it's right on top of the place where I started. Something like that. What do you think of that, y'all? And I will continue that all the way around until I get this thing 90% cut off. Then I'll go to the other side, flip it over, and release it that way. Before I cut that completely off, I will stick this to the bench with tape, because when this comes loose, it's a dangerous thing if that router grabs it. But I'm going to clean out the dust, and we'll keep going from here, y'all. Last circle. Don't let that router move until it stops. Take the drill bit out. How about that, y'all? Hillbilly two-sided tape. We'll clean up that edge a little bit with some sanding. You got yourself a wagon wheel.
Oh, that's pretty.
Okay, y'all. I'm only going to get one chance at this. So cut a recess for that glass in that table. So you wouldn't see very many people do this probably, but I've taken a piece of this, whatever this is, 1/8 inch thick material, and I've drilled drilled a screw bit right through the center of it. And I have made my measurement here, and I'm going to make a practice run. I'm not going to cut this all the way off, but I'm going to go around it to make sure that that piece of wood will fit in there. Okay folks, when I drew that crosshair, that told me where center was. Now I'm going to continue that line down over the side so I don't lose those marks. And I don't know if you can see this very good, because I'm going to try to do something fancy with the legs, and I need those lines. Almost there, y'all. Got that routed out. We're down to the last little bit. Here we go. First, y'all, Hey folks, so here is a first. I've got my Samurai Carpenter mounting plate on my router, my big router. But you see this line right here? I want to cut that line with the router. And what I've made here is a jig that when it hits the outside edge here and here, it will allow me to rotate this thing around in a circle like that and maintain the distance with that cutter in there. This is just a shim to make up the difference from this shoulder. So I'm going to create a double shoulder along this edge on that line so this piece of glass will fit in there. Y'all better wish me luck, because that's the first time I've ever tried this one. Success! Success, y'all! Double shoulder. All the way around. Same size. All the way. Woohoo! All because of that. Okay folks, we're coming down to the wire on this thing. And I got it in my head that I'm going to be a little brave. And I'm going to inlay a penny right into there. So I cut that recess with my hand router. I should have videotaped it, but I didn't. With a 1/16 inch bit in there. Let me see if I can turn this so you can see how tiny that is. So what I'm going to do, pardon me, is I'm going to use some of this stuff. And I don't care if I have a sponsor or not for these guys. If you don't have any of this, you need to get some. 2P10 stands for 2 parts in 10 seconds. It'll hold that penny in there. You won't get it out. So what you do is you apply an amount to the place where you want it to stick to. This can is the activator, a couple of sprays of that on the back of the penny. And I want this penny facing this way. We're going to give it a little tappy tap tap. Get it in there. Clean that up. And in 10 seconds, don't hold that with your finger, by the way. You may have a bad day when your finger's stuck to that penny. You ain't getting that back out. Time to put some finish on this. Okay, folks. Here's what we got after one healthy coat of polyurethane. Not too bad for some junk found in a dumpster or some trash pile. I'm not exactly sure where Jacob found that piece of glass. Now if you look right here, you can see a little divot and a little hole. That's because I've got this glass fitting in there so tightly that you couldn't get it back out without having the way to put a screwdriver or a knife in there and pop that thing back out. Like I said, not too bad for some old scraps.